Hey everyone, I'm Bhavesh, and on behalf of all the co-authors, I'm going to present these actionable guidelines we have established for making biomedical research software findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. And in this work, we followed the definition of research software established by one of the RDA working group on the topic, which can be summarized in any software created during the research process or for a research purpose. So this could be in any format, such as Python code, Jupyter Notebook, a desktop app, and so on. And I believe many of you are developing such research software. So hopefully this talk is of interest to you. And I'm sure that all of you would agree that just like data, it's really important to also make those research software reusable because they really go hand in hand. So then the question is how to make research software reusable. And this is a question we came across in one of our NIH-supported projects where we were developing a software and required to make it reusable. And as you may know, the FAIR principles are really the gold standard where it comes to making any research object reusable. So we thought, okay, we'll just search how to make research software FAIR and apply that to our software and be done with this. But instead, what we found is that many in the research software community express that the FAIR data principle as is are not suitable for research software because they don't account for versioning, for dependencies, and so on. So many such people came together and established what's called the FAIR principle for research software, also known as the FAIR-RS principles. So we're like, okay, we'll then just follow the FAIR-RS principles, apply them to our software, and make it reusable, and again, be done with it. And again, it was not as straightforward, once again, because the FAIR-RS principles, because they are principles, do not provide really actionable guidelines. For instance, the first principle is software is assigned a globally unique and persistent identifier. And we were like, okay, what identifier? How do we get one? And we have many such questions for each of the 17 FAIR-RS principles. So eventually we answered all of those questions and combined our answers into what we call the FAIR biomedical research software or FAIR-BioRS guidelines, which are minimal actionable guidelines for complying with each of the FAIR-RS principles, because we believe making anything fair, or in this case, research software fair, eventually mean that we fulfill each of the FAIR-RS principles. And to do that, we combine literature review. So we reviewed relevant resources. We included our own assessment when there was a lack of community agreement. And we also collected external feedback from the community. And it actually all started with BOSC last year and mainly COFES, where we got a very valuable inputs, feedback, but also the motivation to continue this work and not just do it for our own little software, but try to make it so that it's useful to everyone. And so I'm told it's 1 minute already, so I'm just going to show a super condensed version of the guidelines. You might see things that you do already, but also new things. So I invite you to check out the full version of the guidelines on the dedicated repository we have. You'll see that each step has clear instructions and links and a crosswalk between the FAIR-RS principles and the FAIR-BioRS guidelines. And what we really need now is support from the community. This work is not really supported. It's really a side quest that we took as part of our kind of main project, thinking it might be useful to everyone else. So if you like the guidelines, please use them. You can include them in your software development best practices or your software management plan. You probably have many components for making software reproducible, maintainable, and whatnot. So you can use these guidelines for the reusable component of it. And if you don't like them, let us know how we can improve them, or better join us in this FAIR-BioRS team and help us kind of maintain this guideline, develop tools, documentation around it. And that's why we have created this dedicated GitHub organization so that it's dissociated from us and eventually really just become a community-driven effort. Thank you.